Hey guys, this is All Stream That back with another episode of MLB The Show 19, Road to the Show with our second baseman. And these are the games that we have left to play in this season. There are 14 left, and today we are going to get through the 3 home games against the Texas Rangers. We're going to do both of the road games against the Oakland Athletics, and then we're going to complete the road trip by playing these 3 away games against the Texas Rangers. And with 14 games left, we are out of the American League West. And we are 10 games behind the Oakland Athletics in the American League wildcard. And the New York Yankees are the only team in the major leagues that have clinched a postseason appearance thus far. So let's go ahead and get into the games. And we're going to be doing some batting practice with Andrelton Simmons to get our contact caps up a little bit. And there's the results. They both go up by 1. And he wants 6 hits over the next 3 games. And here we are at home against the Texas Rangers. And there's nobody out and a runner on first for Texas. And we get the double play to get the first 2 outs of the game. And here's our first shot at the plate today. So we need 6 hits in these next 3 games. We have a runner on second with 2 outs. That was not up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is a ball. The count is 1-1. And there's another ball on a 12-6 curve on the outside. And the count is 2-1. And the count should be 3-1, but we swung at that slider low and outside. So it's now 2-2. And we strike out. And here is Greg Allen for the Texas Rangers, runner on first and 2 outs. Still a tie score at 0. And we get the out at second. And here's our second shot. And that's a foul, and that is caught for out number 1. And we're now down by 1 in the bottom of the 6th, and we're leading off the inning. Nobody on, nobody out. And that is a ground out to the third baseman. And it's the bottom of the 8th. We've got 2 outs and a runner on first, and we're still down by 1. And he dropped that. And that is a fielder's choice. Throw to second for the third out. And we end up winning. And here's our second game against the Texas Rangers. And it looks like we are hitting third because there's 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Nobody on, and it is scoreless. And we were a little bit late on that curveball. There we go, that's going to be a hit. We're not going to go for 2, we're going to go ahead and turn back. Although with that throw, we probably could have done it. And we need 5 more over the next 2 games. And here's first baseman Greg Bird. We are in September, so I am assuming that because of the position that we're in, where it's going to be real hard for us to even get the wild card, they're going to be using a lot of the September call-ups from the minors to see what they can do. And that's going to be a fly out to left field for out number 3. And here's Rougned Odor. Nobody on, nobody out, and it's a 1-hopper to us, and we've got him out at first. And here's Israel Salazar. It's got a 2-2 count. And another easy ground out. And we're now down by 1 in the bottom of the third. We've got a runner on first, and we've got 2 outs. And there's out number 3. And we're still down by 1. 2 outs and a runner on first in the bottom of the 5th. And that's out number 3 on a fly out to right field. And we get another shot at it. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs and runners on first and second this time. And it's a different pitcher. We miss it. And there's ball 1 on a high and outside cutter. And there's an outside fastball for ball 2. And that's not going to be long enough. That's a fly out to left field for out number 3. And it is the bottom of the 10th. Nobody on, nobody out, and it is tied at 3. And that's foul, as we were just a little bit early. And that's strike two as we swing at a outside cutter. And that was a good catch by the center fielder for out number one. I thought that was just about to bounce. Good play. And the Rangers have won, we've lost. And we sat out the second game against Texas and we won 9-3, so we lost the last game of that series, but we did win the series. And we're going to do some T drills. We're going to get our contact versus right up to the current cap, and contact versus left will stay at 69. And there's the results. And here's our first of two games against the Oakland Athletics. And we are leading off the game. Nobody on, nobody out. This should be up and in. And the left fielder will come over and grab that for out number one. And we're now up by one. There's two outs and a runner on second in the bottom of the second. And we missed that curve for strike one. And they throw another curve even further outside for strike two. There we go. That's a foul ball that's going to drop. Still strike two. And we strike out on nothing but curveballs. And we are still up by one. There we go. That is a hit. We are probably not going to get that challenge because we need 4 more this game. And, okay, they want us to steal. We were late, and we still got it. Okay. 55 on the year. Triple of Justin Upton. And there's out number one. And here's Mike Trout. He's 1 for 1. He has a home run already this game. And we'll make it back to second. Easy steal. It's number 56 on the year. We're going to go for 60. And the count is 1-2. And that should be out number 2. The first baseman will come over and grab it. And here is Justin Upton. He's got a 2-2 count. I am on third, and we've got 2 outs. And that's out number 3. There's 2 outs and a runner on first for Stephen Piscotty. Or David Piscotty. And there's out number 3. Here's Manuel Margot. 2-2 count, nobody on and a runner on first. And we only get the out at second, and he flips me right on over. And here's Renato Nunez. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. There's the pitch. And it is now tied in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 7th with 1 out and a runner on second. And it is tied. And that's a line drive and foul territory caught by the first baseman for out number 2. And we're down by 1. Should be a double play. Okay, he'll tag and then throw. So we were not involved with that. And we end up losing. Here's our second of 2 games against Oakland. And there's out number 1. And here's Robert Geary. 1 out, bottom of the 1st. He's got a 1-1 count. And there's out number 2. And this is our first chance in this game. And that jammed us. And we're up by 2 in the top of the 4th. Nobody on, nobody out. And we're just going to keep hitting fly balls, I guess. And we've got runners on first and second with 1 out. There we go, double play. This should end it. And it's good. And we are up by 3. Runner on first with 1 out. There we go. Finally got on. Right through the infield. And here's Justin Upton. Got a 1-2 count. There's 1 out. Okay, that's going to be caught. Now there's 2 outs for Matt Davidson. And he's got a 3-2 count. There's 2 outs we're going to be running here. And he strikes out. And it's Renato Nunez. 1 out, bottom of the 6th, nobody on. And that's a hit. Here's Matt Olson, leading off the bottom of the 7th. And that's another hit. And this is probably our final shot here. Let's try to advance the runner. And that's a foul. Okay, the count is 2-2. Full count. And that's a foul. And that's a fly ball to second base. And here's Katimer. And that's out number 2. And we have 1. So with 9 games to go now in the season, we are officially out of the American League West, as is everybody else. The Seattle Mariners have clinched. And we are 10.5 games behind the Houston Astros in the American League wild card. So we are out of the wild card as well. We will not be making the playoffs this year. So with 9 games to go in the season, the New York Yankees have clinched the American League East. The Cleveland Indians have clinched the American League Central. And the Seattle Mariners have clinched the American League West. And nobody has clinched the American League wild card. It looks as though the Red Sox are definitely going to be in. And we are not going to make the playoffs. We are 10.5 games out. And nobody has clinched the National League East yet. It looks as though the Braves are probably going to do it, though. The Cubs have clinched the National League Central. And the Padres are going to make the playoffs. They will likely clinch the National League West. If they don't, then they will probably be overtaken by the Rockies, and then they will take the National League wild card, the first position. And the Nationals right now are in the 2nd spot for the National League wild card. But nobody has clinched either of those yet. And we're going to do some massage therapy, and that will increase our durability. And there are the results. And we're going to interact with the relief pitcher, Matt Schaefer, from the Texas Rangers. And he sends us some banter ahead of the game. You picked the wrong time to try to intimidate us. We're on fire right now. And he says this might be the series that we are extinguished. And here we are in our first game against the Texas Rangers. And we are leading off. And I really like the look of their ballpark. That is going to be a leadoff home run on the very first pitch. 17 on the year. 393 feet, 108 miles on exit. That's a way to start the game. And here's Bruno Avalos, and it is tied at 1. In the bottom of the second with 2 outs and nobody on. And there's out number 1. Okay, so now it is the top of the third. There's a runner on first and nobody out. And it is tied. And that's a double play as we hit a broken bat ball back to the pitcher. And we're now up by 4 in the top of the fourth with 2 outs, nobody on. And that is out number 3. Here's Isabel Salazar. Israel. And that is out number 2. And here's Akinori Inaba. There's nobody out and a runner on first. And he's too quick to be thrown out at first. And we're up by 4 in the top of the 7th with 1 out, nobody on. And that's going to be a hit. We're going to go for a double. We probably could have tried for a triple, but I'm happy with the double and we're on base. And there's out number 3. Or no, out number 2. And here's Mike Trout with a 1-2 count. We are on third and there's 2 outs. And the third baseman catches that for out number 3. And here's Akinori Inaba again. We're now down by 1 in the bottom of the 8th. They had a really big inning. There we go. And we are leading off the top of the 9th. This will likely be our last shot. And that is a foul. And they get us by a step. And we've lost. And here we go again against the Texas Rangers. We are leading off. So nobody on, nobody out, and scoreless. And that is a foul. And we swing at what would have been a ball for strike 2. And there's strike 3 for out number 1. And here's our second shot. We're up by 3. Runner on first and 1 out. And there's ball 1. And we will get a hit. And Simmons will pop up to the left fielder for out number 2. And here is Mike Trout. He has a walk and a run today. And there's out number 3. We've got a runner on first. Let's try to hit a ball over the infield. We are up by 5 in the top of the 3rd. Well, I would say that that's advancing the runner, and I would say that that's hit over the infield. So we're now up by 8 on a 380-foot home run. And that was a good one. And here's Rougned Odor. Top of the 4th, we are up by 8. That's our ground ball. And we got him. And here's Elvis Andrews. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. And another easy one. Hit a single or better. There's runners on first and second with nobody out in the top of the 5th. And we will not get on. And the runner's going to stay at second. Okay, there's 2 outs. And there's out number 3. we are 2 for 4 today. It's the top of the 7th, nobody out, and a runner on first. And that's a fly ball to left field for out number 1. And here's Akinori Inaba. 1 out, runners on first and second. And we get the double play to end the inning. And it's the top of the 8th with 2 outs. We're up by 12. And there's ball 1 on a high fastball. And there's strike 1 on a foul. And that is a fly ball. The center fielder catches that. And here's Nomar Mazara. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out and nobody on. Easy out. And here's Israel Salazar. Bottom of the 9th with 1 out. We've got a 12-run lead. And another easy out. And we've won. And here we are in our final game against the Texas Rangers. And we are leading off. Nobody on, nobody out, and scoreless. And we're going to go for a double here. And we got it. That's our 31st double on the year. And here's Andrelton Simmons. Wow. I thought I saw him twitch. And that's a home run. Okay. So it's now 2-0. And that was his 17th home run on the year. 413 feet, 103.8 miles per hour on exit. And that was a high one, too. Do not record an out in the first 4 pitches. We're up by 3. 2 outs, nobody on. There is strike 1 as we swing at a low fastball. There we go. We're going to keep that as a single. And it's a 3-2 count for Simmons. And that's ball 4. And here is Mike Trout. He's got a 1-2 count. And the first baseman will take that himself for out number 3. And we're up by 3. And the center fielder has that for out number 3. And here's Odor. We have our shift on. And easy enough. Out number 3. And we have a 4-run lead now. Runners on first and second with 1 out in the top of inning number 6. And that's strike 2. And strike 3 as we swung at 3 pitches outside of the zone. And this will likely be our final chance in this series. And it's a ground out to the shortstop. And we've won. And at the end of this episode, we have 6 games left in the season. The Yankees, again, have clinched the American League East, and the Red Sox are now officially in the wild card. The Cleveland Indians have clinched the American League Central, and the Mariners have clinched the American League West. And with 6 games to go, the Tigers are still officially in it. They have to win every game, and everybody else pretty much has to start losing. The White Sox are still in it, the Twins are still in it, and the Athletics are still in it. However, the Astros right now are the ones that have it. And in the National League, the Atlanta Braves have clinched the they have clinched the National League East. The Chicago Cubs have clinched the National League Central. And the Padres have clinched a postseason appearance. So the Rockies don't even have a guaranteed spot as of yet. They are, for the most part, tied with the Washington Nationals for the first and second spots. And the Marlins, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the Pirates can still get in. The Brewers are all but eliminated, and the Pirates, it's going to be a long shot. Same thing with the Cardinals and Dodgers. I would say that the Marlins are the only one not in those 2 spots that still have a chance. And that is going to end today's episode. My name is AllStream. Hit that like and subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications.